I absolutely love using Twitter to find new indie and racing games for me to fall in love with. I follow the developer, then I get to watch the development of the game take place, and then if I can sneak out into a little demo, then I will, and then I'll buy the game on release and devour it wholeheartedly and with full of joy, usually, because they're the games that I've kind of become over the course of time. SuperSpec Rallycross is one such game that I've had the pleasure of watching its development over on Twitter. It's being made by Volume Games and it's a 1 to 4 player top-down arcade racing experience. The idea behind this is that it's part Circuit Superstars, and that's from the top-down camera perspective where you're going away and back towards the camera, and it's not like following you around so much. So it's proper old school, not really isometric, but you get what I mean. But it's also part what I'm going to call Choro Q, because these cars are way more arcadey than anything Circuit Superstars has to offer. And that's because the cars themselves are almost like mini tiny toys. They have no weight to them. And so they're able to turn on a dime really, really quickly on any tarmac areas. But because each of the tracks has a mixture of tarmac and dirt or sand, for example, when you do get to the off-road parts of the rallycross, your car really will drift around, and it's like you're hanging the washing out to dry as you try to like waggle the car around and keep it all in check. That said, the other thing that reminded me of Choro Q is the fact that your cars sometimes turn in a way that feel toyish, so they aren't fully 3D cars sometimes. I know they are in the game, but sometimes they turn like back and forth and they kind of like collapse in themselves a little bit like paper cars. And it's a really interesting effect that took me a little while to get used to. But once I'd got used to it, and the fact that the handling was really, really tight and not oversteery, but it's like oversteer on the tarmac, understeer on the dirt. And the fun of this game is to play with the two really quickly, because each of the tracks that I've played in a demo are super tight and small, and so when you're doing a lap that takes anywhere from like 12 to 20 seconds, you're having to adapt and get into that flow of things really, really quickly. The other beauty of this game with SuperSpec Rallycross is that each of the tracks in the demo came with really competent AI, but they also have to play the Joker, and that means if you've never played a rallycross game beforehand, each track will have a Joker little extra like off the beaten track lane that you'll need to take in one of the laps. The game will punish you if you take it multiple times and give you a time penalty, which I thought was quite funny. Not that you'd normally want to, because often the Joker is longer than the actual track itself. Not always, but sometimes. And the beauty of this is that there's tactics involved, so you can go early or late and then try and work your way back through without having to maybe pass and aggressively attack other competitors as you go through the race to get yourself back to the front. I really like the fact that the AI don't all just bundle in at like the same lap. They do spread themselves out, and this all plays nicely when you get into the split screen multiplayer mode, which you'll see very limited footage of here because it was me playing with two controllers with two hands and I didn't have the coordination to do so. But I was really pleased to see of just how fluidly it ran. So, my verdict at the end of mucking about with the demo for a good half an hour or so was 2 thumbs up from me. I will be buying it on day one and then doing a review for the channel at a later point. And the full game is supposed to have not just single player mode, but 1 to 4 player split screen. AI will be playing along with that if you want it to. Across 20 circuits, using 12 rallycross cars. There's also a time trial mode that will allow you to have Steam leaderboard access. And I believe you can have ghosts onto that, judging by the description too. And then there's a cool little feature about random cup generator mode. And this will pick 4 races from across the series to randomly put you in. So you can't necessarily pick your favourites to try and beat your mates on. It will be from random from the game itself. So yeah, thumbs up from me, SuperSpec Rallycross. The demo and the full release, I believe, of the game coming out in June 2024. Go take a look at it on Steam.